everybody, welcome back to Ozark Mountain Goats. If you've been following along with our channel, you know that we just started milking our 3 does that kidded in April. So a couple days ago I froze some goat milk and I am ready to try my hand at making some goat milk soap. Now I am brand new to this, so if you're looking for expert advice, I cannot give that to you. But if you want to follow along and learn as I do, or maybe, you know, you just want to see if I can do it without screwing it up, I'm a girl. So anyway, I took our goat milk and I measured it out and put it into baggies and froze it. So the recipe that I found online calls for 12.4 ounces of goat milk. So the reason I froze it is because the lye really heats up the liquid, and with goat milk you have to be real careful not to scorch it. So it's just better to freeze your milk if you can, rather than using it right out of the refrigerator. So I'm going to break this up and put it in my bowl, and then we're going to get our lye mixed in. I'm actually going to use this little potato masher because it is frozen, as you can see, and it's going to take me a minute to get that mixed real well. Let me get it off the scale. I don't really need that anymore. All right. Oops. Safety first. As you can see, I've got my gloves on. I've got my long sleeves and an apron, and now I'm just going to put some safety glasses on. They say to do this really slowly so as to prevent scorching of the milk. So this is going to take a few minutes, and I won't force you to watch all that, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's done. As you can see, I've got a little cheapy TV tray that I found out in the barn, and I thought that would work well to kind of keep things contained a little bit. I have to apologize for the lighting. I'm down in our basement, and we had an unused, unfinished room down here that we have all of our music equipment in. Jim and I used to have a country music band, and so anyway, we thought, well, this might be a good spot to do some soaping. So that's what I am doing. And we do have a kitchen down here in the basement, so I've got water nearby for cleanup. So I've been watching some videos lately on making goat milk soap, or just making soap in general, and it's amazing how many different techniques and ideas you get from people. Some people like to soap at 110 to 120 degrees. Some people like to make soap at 80 degrees. So it's been a little bit confusing for me to be honest with you, because I'm just being so brand new at this, I'm just not sure what to do. So for me, this is kind of going to be a trial and error, and the main takeaway from it, though, is that you want your oil mixture and your lye mixture to be within 10 degrees of each other. So when I get this all mixed up, we'll see where we're at, and I guess that'll maybe determine at what temperature I'm going to soap at. Some people actually leave their stuff set for a long time on the counter until it comes to room temperature. So depending, I guess, on the temperature of your house, you know, that could be 70 degrees, 75 degrees. To be on the safe side, I think I'm going to try to do it somewhere between, say, 80 and 110. You know you are scorching your milk and lye mixture if it turns a real dark color. Right now, I've almost got it all mixed in, and so far, it's a nice creamy white. I do expect that to get a little darker, though, because this milk is almost completely melted. And you do want to stir constantly while you're getting this mixed up. Well, it's all mixed up, and so far it's maintained a decent shade. It's not turned all dark and brown on me. Actually, I think I'm going to get a temperature reading. This is one of those infrared thermometers, You just point. Okay, it's around 95 to 100 degrees. So far so good with that. Let me set this aside and we'll get our oils going. Okay, in this little bowl here, I've got my palm oil already melted. It is solid at room temperature, so I measured that out. It's 10.8 ounces. And that's ready to go. I also got this from Brambleberry. This is coconut oil, and you can use these bags over and over again. Coconut oil is solid at room temperature, so you also need to melt that. And so I'm going to pour that in, and that is also 10.8 ounces. Okay. And lastly, I'm going to be adding my olive oil. And the olive oil is 16.2 ounces. And I've already measured that so I don't have to zero out my scale or anything. So I've got 3 oils: palm oil, coconut oil, and olive oil. So let me get a temperature reading on this. It is about 94 degrees, and my lye mixture is at about 100. So we're within 10 degrees and we can go ahead and start putting this together. Before I mix my oil with my lye mixture, I'm going to add some sodium lactate. That will help the bars harden, and so I'm adding 3.5 teaspoons. And now I'm just going to add my lye mixture to my oils, and they say try to pour it carefully to prevent bubbles, which I didn't do that very well. All right, now we're going to start our stick blending. You want to make sure you burp your stick blender here so you don't get a bunch of air in it, and I'm just going to give it some bursts here and stir as I go. I want to make sure it's completely blended. You can check for trace if you like. That's when you lift up to see if it leaves any trail behind. I'm barely getting any trace at all on this. I'm going to blend just another burst or two. Now I'm going to go ahead and add my fragrance. I'm doing orange today, so I've got 2.5 ounces of like orange 10X that I got from Brambleberry. Wow. I just love the smell. Oh man, that smells so good. I love the smell of orange and citrus. It just smells clean and delicious. Yum. Well, you know, even though I'm brand new at this, I thought I really want to make something pretty. So I'm going to try working with color today. I mean, what the heck, you know, go big or go home. So if I screw it up, I'll screw up big time. So what I'm going to do is separate this into 2 different containers. Actually, maybe just one, and then I'll leave some of this in here. You know, I had mixed up some orange color, but this is so orangey. I wonder if that was unnecessary. I'm going to try to lighten some of it. I would like to have orange and white, but I don't know if I can do that or not, but I'm going to try. All right, I have mixed up some mica powder, some white, and we'll see if I can get this to turn white or not. May not be able to. It may be too orangey already. Yeah, it's not really. I'm afraid the 10X orange fragrance made it a pretty orange color to begin with, so I would have to add a whole lot more mica powder probably to bring this up to the white color that I want, and I don't have any mixed up. Now some people add the mica powder directly in. Some people mix it in another oil, which I have done, almond oil. So anyway. You know, guys, I don't even think I'm going to use that orange color I mixed up. I think this is just pretty on its own. It kind of reminds me of orange juice concentrate. That's what it smells like too. All right, so let's go ahead and mold this up. I am just using a 3-pound mold, and when I added all my ingredients together, it's a little bit more than 3 pounds, so I was afraid it would be too much, that it couldn't hold it all. So I've got these little things here that I can use if it goes over. So I'm just going to pour this in. And I'm going to go ahead and just pour some of this on top too. It might give it a pretty color since it's slightly different. I don't really know. We're going to find out. Add a little bit more of this. A little bit more of this. And I'm about to the top of my mold. So, next thing I want to try is to make a little bit of a swirl in it. And again, I don't know any techniques and I don't know what I'm doing, but we're going to do it anyway. All right. We'll see how that turns out. And I do have some left, so I'm glad I got this ready to go. Let's see what we got here. A little bit of this, a little bit of this, little bit of this. Our little molds. I like the shape. It reminds me of a caress bar, and they're just easy to hold on to. Easier than the big square bars, I think. Even if you bevel the edge, the bars are a little large, so I think it's harder to hold on to. That's coming out just about perfect. So I've got the block there plus 4 little bars out of the leftovers. Swirl it a tiny bit too, just for the heck of it. I think I want to try to make a design on the top of my log, but it needs to thicken up just a bit, so that's going to take a few minutes. I think this might be thick enough that I could do a little something of a design, so I'm going to see what I can do with this spatula here. That really didn't do much. I don't know if it's because it's not quite thick enough or the tool I'm using. I'm going to try something a little more spoon shaped. I don't really want a lot of texture, just a little bit of something. That's not really making any difference. Matter of fact, I don't think I like it as well. Try something different here. That's kind of pretty. I think I like that better. Try that again. Kind of a figure 8. Yeah, I think I like that better. It's actually kind of pretty. I'm just going to leave it alone. So next thing I need to do is spray it down with some alcohol, and that's to prevent that ash color on top, discoloration kind of. Spray these too. And next thing to do is just cover them and let them sit 24 to 48 hours before I unmold them. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off, guys, because it'll be a day or two before I get back down here to see what they look like. But be sure and stick around to the very, very end so you can see how they turned out. And I'll show you how I'm going to cut the soap. Anyway, thanks for tagging along. I realize that I'm no expert at this, and I'm not exactly the person that needs to be teaching a newbie how to make soap. But I thought you might enjoy watching it, and we're so thrilled to have actual goat milk from our girls to make soap with. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. We sure appreciate it. Be sure and hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. Ring that notification bell, and as always, we will catch you later.